Who else got work tomorrow and is staying up unreasonably late?
So
Yeah.
what's you guys' like craziest stories from work, man?
From
I'm
work?
a child. I don't
Yeah.
work.
Uh, I
You
mean,
guys want to hear another bop?
I
or
used to
no?
smoke pot, like.
I
in the
can
back
tell
of
you
the
a
kitchen
story
every
about
time.
one of my works. Like, not I didn't it didn't personally happen to me, but it happened to someone I know, like one of my coworkers. One of our other stores, we sell hobby equipment and like RC cars and stuff like that,
Nah, I
like
think
really
you're
high
gonna
grade.
lose.
And what happened was we have like $40,000 worth of batteries and like lithium polymer batteries, so they're really reactive. And if one goes, they all go. And it went, and the whole store basically exploded. All the windows got blown out, and we sell propane too, so the fire department had to rush there before the propane went up. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's some
that's
cherry
cool.
on
There's
top
an
type shit
active
right there.
meth lab near my work.
Yes.
Me and my manager made pop brownies.
Oh.
How do you go about that, dude? You just go up to him and ask?
I do.
Yeah.
You work in food.
Explain.
Yeah, about the active meth lab next to my work.
Yes.
Okay, so we have surveillance cameras next to our building, right? And we just see these guys coming in, just loading shit in from like a van, and like it's obviously a meth lab because like it's exploded like 2 or 3 times now, and like the cops have been there a couple of times, but like they haven't fucking arrested them for some reason. I don't know if you guys don't have the fucking like warrants
Yeah.
or like proof or anything. So like I don't know. There's a meth lab next to my like.
I got a meth lab story.
Bop or no?
I got commandeered to go grow some weed at one point in time in my life, and I was working on this
She be
illegal
no
weed farm.
judge.
And while we're working on this weed farm, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, right outside of LA, basically like a couple hours outside of LA. And this little podunk area of California, like it's where our farm is at, I had a couple trailers like along the highway, and all of a sudden this fucking trailer blows up, and pretty sure it's a meth lab. Bunch of cops show up. We have 500 fucking plants not a half mile away from all the cops and fire trucks showing up at.
Jesus fucking
And
Christ.
I'm just going like, and like this is
That's
we
some
just
That's straight up some
we
GTA shit,
just
bro.
like we just freshly like California just freshly gotten recreational, so like you could grow recreational weed, right? So like we could have done it legally, but we're like, let's grow 500 fucking plants, let's fucking do it, right? So we did
This
it,
was my
and then now all of a
favorite
sudden this
episode of
fucking meth
Breaking
lab
Bad.
blows up, and we are freaking the fuck out because it's high summer, desert country. You got fucking meth lab flames going up. The propane tanks are still blowing up. Fire trucks are showing up. Cops are showing up. Helicopters going over. We're like, dude, we're about to get caught. We're about to get caught because of a fucking tweaker. God damn it. Luckily, we didn't. But
That's
No,
crazy.
you guys
Man.
think you're just talking to us from the fucking prison cell playing CS.
shh, don't tell me.
Spend
Yo,
that
dude,
long
how's
enough, he's
the
got a
how's
couple
the how's the
perks.
prison rate, man? Tell me. How's Jerome doing?
You mean? Well, they call me daddy, so you know.
Oh, I see. I see.
Honestly,
It's pretty good for him, honestly.
Seems to be
We just got
like,
ramen packets for me.
But like I found this live resin cart it's basically like smoking dabs.
So I found this new website, guys. It's called
jealous.
CS Lotto. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
Oh no.
it's pretty cool.
Dude, who said about the live resin?
Wait, what?
Hey, anyone else having like a dry spell in your recreational dispensaries around you?
No, I haven't
Recreational
bought weed in a minute.
dispensaries. I just do illegal stuffs.
Same.
My street guys
Murder
haven't had
people
any
for weed.
problem.
No, yeah, around me it's like everywhere is sold out.
It's,
There was a drought not that long ago. A lot of shit got seized
Can someone explain to me why drive-through alcohol is a thing?
What?
because this whole mask shit is a thing.
Because the war on drugs is a fucking joke.
Can you explain to me how we have, weed businesses as essential businesses, and we still
No
have
way,
people
that's not
in the
essential.
fucking jail?
You can't be
Yeah,
telling
we-
me that's
So
essential.
They're essential
no, they are.
businesses, and we
They
still
are
have
essential
people in
businesses.
jail.
Oh my god.
So was my liquor store. I literally worked at a liquor store.
I work at a law firm.
But the liquor store, you know what? It honestly made sense to me because true alcoholics would be taking up hospital spots
Yeah.
if they couldn't get alcohol. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Bro, my
so
friend
why
drove
don't
some
we listen to
Everclear
Dance
the
with
other
the
day,
Devil?
and I was actually scared for him because that shit's retarded.
Me, please play Dance to the Devil and let these folks hear that shit. And then, like, everyone be quiet during the... Okay,
everyone's about to
listen,
be
listen.
I've heard this.
Everyone
Just saying.
has just got to shut the fuck up during the song, and then we're gonna talk after about the lyrics. So listen closely to the lyrics.
Fuck.
This is the one where he rapes his mom, right?
Yo, Nat, there's a death barrier. We can't.
No.
Wait, what? The music, the
Am
answer
I
is
wrong,
yes.
though? This is that was the song where he rapes his mom, right?
My
Yes.
ass.
Oh,
Keep
it's
it-
the
keep
Twitch
it
guy.
playing.
He's plugging his Twitch. Look at that.
Wow.
Hey, I'm a Twitch streamer, but I don't plug my Twitch. Imagine plugging
Hey,
your Twitch.
he's cooler than you
So
though.
lonely.
Damn, I see
Okay.
how it is. I see how it is, brother.
Look, he's back.
Yeah,
He's
that's
got
good.
it. There you go. All right, everyone, shut the fuck up and listen.
Yo,
Song
Nat,
is deep.
strafe down, strafe to the bottom level.
I watched Lady and the Tramp.
So, how's everybody doing tonight?
I'm about to go smoke some more weed before I
Bro,
fucking
I'm
go to
about to
sleep.
get this. I'm about to
Same.
get this $60 card that's live
Next,
resin.
what's your
It's really
Twitch
good.
again? I forgot.
Oh, oh.
Play it, play it. You're good.
Play that shit.
Quit baiting us then.
What's your guys' favorite?
Reviews sometimes.
Alright, during this song, everyone just pay attention to the lyrics and don't say a fucking thing.
What do you mean don't play anything? Let him play it.
I bet say vote didn't fail. Vote was 53%.
What?
It has to be like 60, dude.
Damn.
Wow, really?
Wow.
So the people who aren't talking instead of muting are just gonna be fun police. Got it.
God, I fucking hate people without mics. They're so fucking gay.
I know, right?
Get a fucking mic loser so I can beat you up verbally.
Art,
I can't
Art,
beat you up
let's
physically
let's
'cause I don't
let's
know
be
where you are.
respectful because we're all equal here, and we all love Jesus.
No,
All right.
people who
Fuck
are
off,
too
Sally.
proud
Isn't that right,
of
Jesus?
mic are not
I swear to God, Scrambled, you better watch your mouth before I beat the shit out of you, even though I can't.
Come on, right over, baby. I got you.
Aw,
No,
you're
it's
such a
not an
sweetheart.
issue with you making the mute. It's more of an issue with the fact that that's the rule is that it's a super majority. It's like this isn't fucking American politics. This is a surf channel.
Yeah.
Who
I mean, the
cares?
super majority doesn't matter either, so, you know. You got
When
you
two
can
people
skin your
vote.
teeth and you're good.
You know, it don't really matter, man.
Yeah.
mad.
I mean, yeah, I know what you guys mean. It's the same thing with
I
like
made another
Discords, but I don't
tic-tac-toe
know.
board.
Moderation's always kind of
Yes.
a touchy subject.
Whoa, is that a gamer grill?
Wait, I lost my gun.
Not
Oh.
cool.
This again.
Women are not cool.
Round two.
Anger face.
I don't think you can shoot on it.
I hate women. Please go away, woman.
Wait, no, I don't have a. I
Yeah,
don't have
I'm
a
gonna
gun.
I'm gonna add an e-girl
I don't know if
counter
I
to
could
the,
use
to
the
the
gun.
video.
I think you can just leave it
Virginia
like I
shield
was.
activate.
All right, you're just gonna have
Just
to
make it
remember.
like
Who's that?
Destiny 2
You
or
girl?
something.
So real talk, is this like something that happens all the time? I'm honest to God curious.
The eagle thing? Yeah, dude, that happens like literally every
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Yeah, like the freak out shit. Like,
Yeah, dude, like seriously, like, people come
yeah,
on and just
it's
spaz the
kind of
fuck out.
annoying.
It's like,
oh, I
that
would
annoys
imagine
me.
so.
I can't imagine how you feel about it.
Someone was like, "Can I buy your bath water?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
You're like, my
That's
name
cool,
ain't
but
Bell.
you're-
Yeah, yeah, you never hit me
Virginia
up
shield
after that, by the way.
activate. I don't understand. I need gaming.
On another note, what's everyone's dick angle?
Left,
We're back on this
left,
shit,
and
huh?
curved up.
Mine is just straight. I haven't
Yeah,
noticed
just
any
to the right.
particular curve to it.
Personally, no, I'm just kidding.
She probably has the biggest dick out of all of us here.
Huge.
I guarantee.
Little tiny cannon. Bigger than
Room
mine.
full of micro penises.
Yeah, dude,
and
my
one large
my dick
clit.
is shaped like a protractor, dude. Shit looks crazy, beautiful.
We can solve the length of your dick by using the Pythagoras.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I appreciate you coming in to save me after that really shitty joke, dude. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Looking out for me like that.
Because he said a room.
What a nice guy.
Absolute hero. All right, you know what? You know what, guys? I don't know where I was going with that.
I think we both lost.
Yo, does anyone have some food they can mail me? I'm like starving over here.
Yeah.
You should So here's a
hard-boiled egg.
yeah. You should make an egg, dude.
Yeah, mail him a smoked egg.
Yeah, those things are so good
Wait,
sounding, dude.
Wait, but who said
I'm
something
drawing
about-
a C for
did someone
cat.
say
Yeah.
Buddha? Is someone from the south okay?
So wait, Scrambled, you said you just poked holes in them and put them in the smoker?
Well, it depends on
I'm
what
sorry, I just logged back in. What's up?
So wait, Scrambled, you said to make the smoked eggs, you just poke holes in them and put them in a smoker? Does the yolk not like leak out or something, or?
No, so like if you're gonna use a little thumbtack, right? It's what's gonna happen is the membrane that's below the shell. It typically it will get pierced as well, but it's not gonna like leak egg out everywhere. You know, like you're not gonna put the hole in the bottom of the egg. It's gonna go on the half side, and eventually it'll just cook out and be fine. You might have like a little drippage out of the
Thank
tip,
you
you know.
for teaching us how to cook eggs. That's
Yeah.
very nice of you.
You're welcome, man.
Wait, did
I only knew
Next
how to
just beat the
fry eggs, that was
record
all
on the
I do.
server?
Hmm?
Next just beat this record on the server?
What?
Yo, it's nothing special, nothing special. He does this every day.
Shit. Yeah, I haven't touched this in forever. I don't know, man. Do you think maybe one day sub 30 will be possible?
No possible way.
I mean, you know, with speedrunning and any of that, people always say it's not possible, but like,
You're right. You're right.
like insane optimizations. It's like hundreds of small things. Who knows?
Wait, hundreds?
Not hundreds, but like, yeah, like
I made another board.
Turn me on, man. Hundreds of small things you said.
Alright.
so many small
What the
things.
fuck does she mean by she made a board?
Wait, where?
I don't understand.
Like tic-tac-toe.
Ah, I see.
Wait, where at?
Yeah.
Are you guys still playing Tic Tac Toe? Holy shit.
Yup.
I'm impressed.
Yo, make another board. I don't see a board.
I saw one at back of spawn.
I'm gonna draw a dick.
Oh, I did it shooting at it, so maybe that didn't work.
Shit, bro.
So I had a quick question for everyone. How do you guys feel about the infamous website Reddit? I can't speak today. Don't mind me.
So Reddit, it's I don't know. There's a lot of people with big chins
It's
who
trash
love
now.
gold. They love gold. They love not showering. I don't know, man.
It used to be alright.
Talking
Now it's
about
trash.
Jewish people?
So have you guys heard of the this hacker named 4chan? He's pretty infamous. I don't know about him, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yo, get this simp out of here. I'm trying to play Tic Tac.
I'm pretty up in the air about Reddit right now. I was
Unknown.
noticing something on Reddit the other day. Like, have you guys ever seen those YouTube videos where they splice together like the media stuff from around the country?
Yeah.
Like, and they I was sitting there one morning. I woke up like 2 in the morning. And I started going through popular on Reddit, and the next thing you know, I noticed that like the news media was covering the same stories on
Alright,
Reddit,
you want
and
in the middle? I'm
I
gonna
didn't
shake
understand if
things
it's
up.
coincidence
Shake
or
and bake.
not.
Shake and bake.
You know.
Yeah, it's become very, very business oriented
Yeah,
there.
exactly. So like, I'm not sure if like people are just like upvoting shit to popular that's like the media is also going to cover, or if like networks are
Yo,
bot upvoting
It's-
shit
yeah,
to
it's bot
popular.
paid for
yo.
it.
Kid. What up,
What's
brother?
up? Oh.
It's so goddamn cold. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I feel like you can still get decent content. Speaking on Reddit again, is
You can.
on like you have to go to like niche subreddits, so you can't go to any of these main places.
Well, I
anymore
mean,
'cause
like,
it's all just paid for
realistically,
entirely.
you know, regardless of the stigma, Reddit's one of those websites that's so huge at this point. You can't like shit on it as a whole, right? I mean, like even with
Not go on
YouTube, like
Reddit.
you can
will
say
eventually go on
you can
Reddit.
say the platform is terrible, but the content on YouTube is you can't just say it's shit because it's too generalizing,
like,
it's too sweeping.
I don't know. For the things I use the internet for, I ended up finding Stack Overflow and Stack Exchange to be like my most, and Core would be my most favorite
So
websites now.
I tend to not really go on Reddit all that often, or end up
I don't
there.
either. Yeah, it's not very.
I end up there like every 2 to 3 weeks on accident.
I used to daily that shit, but then I started started hating it rather.
Yeah, dude. Ever since
You
r/gay
again?
furry porn got shut down, dude, my life's never been the same. It's just
It was just
terrible.
too easy to watch every top comment be the most predictable, politicized nonsense.
It's
every
the same
fucking
thing on
photo.
YouTube, dude. If you see top comments on the YouTube
Yeah.
channels, they're the same recycled jokes over and over again. It's miserable.
Really? I got top
It's
comment
called
on
a
a
hive
YouTube
mind.
video because they said my dog was taking a shit.
Well, listen,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like,
100% trolling and anymore on YouTube.
yeah, every once in a while you actually have good comments, but like, it's just recycled jokes, right?
Or people just pointing out the music people use.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really
obvious
cringe when people do
things.
that. I hate that shit.
No, you know what's the worst? People
music is like
just
bad.
quoting what somebody said in the video, and they get like,
Oh yeah, quoting and then like I'm laughing my ass off.
no,
Shitting
dude,
my-
not even like,
I'm
not even putting like a
literally shitting
worded
my
reaction. They
pants.
just quote it, and that's it.
Damn, bro.
We're gonna talk about Reddit, but not TikTok.
Dude, let's
Yeah,
not
I
even
usually
touch that.
fuck with
Please
TikTok,
don't.
I'm not even kidding.
We don't
Not
mention
even
that.
worth a conversation.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
not
it's not worth
ironically
my
fuck with it.
vocal cords.
Let's not mention TikTok.
Their algorithm is
That's
so much fucking better than any other program I've seen in
That's
such
a
a long
nice
time.
board.
What
Do you like
TikTok?
this term?
Their shit is so
TikTok
inflated.
famous. Yo, Chibi, you're getting in the way, man.
It makes
Because, like, don't get me wrong, you can definitely end up down the same idea of, like, political rabbit holes and shit with TikTok.
I got a game
but
plan.
it's, I feel like you can also just completely avoid that and have content that's geared towards you.
Yo, somebody finish this game with me.
I got you.
What do people mean by like content?
CCP propaganda.
Do you guys just like watch YouTube on like autoplay after the videos, or like how do you
I
guys
didn't
watch
see which
YouTube?
one
I
you
don't know
did.
why, but my autoplay's off and it won't let me
Yo.
turn it
I
back
turn
on.
mine off too. 'Cause,
Yo,
like,
nuts.
that's
Look
like
at
that's
that
a
mine.
hole.
You no.
Giggity goo.
Rip.
Oh, this is where the tic-tac-toe is
Now that I
happening.
think
see.
about it back on it, how many like there's no way Leafy records his own surfcom. I know this is completely off topic, but the amount of knives that dude has is retarded.
Oh, come on, dude. You can easily, you can amass a
Bro,
decent amount of
I was
knives.
about to say, he's
He's
literally
rich.
been on that shit for years
He's
and
rich as
years
hell.
and
That
years.
and
though.
like let's assume the server has like those knife options on it, so you can just change your
that's
knife
true.
whenever you
Yeah.
want.
I forget about that. My bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird? He made like, you guys really think he's a millionaire off trading or something?
Yeah.
No,
Probably.
he did.
Dude,
100%
bro,
is
have
the
you
d-
seen his Microsoft Excel skills? It's insane,
Dude.
bro.
Oh yeah.
I was bitching to my grandpa this weekend about like just Twitch and like how ridiculous it is that some of these like people that are my age are making tens of millions of
I know
dollars
the
just sitting around
strategy
streaming
never.
video games. And he's like, "What do you mean?" So I showed him Pokemon, like the number of subscribers she has, absolutely fucking insane.
Ninja from
Oh, let's
Fortnite.
go.
Ninja, dude. Oh my
You can
god.
start this one. I started the last
is
one.
a fucking mastermind. That dude.
Yes, he is.
50 million from Microsoft to go stream on Mixer, and then it shut down like a year
He
later.
made
Was it
so
20?
much
Oh, it's 20.
fucking money.
It's some ridiculous.
Guys, you ever
Yeah,
heard
it
of
was, it
Facebook
was like
Gaming?
20 or 30 million, and the other guy
And he
made
was
10.
already making $500,000 a month
The
on
other guy,
Twitch
are
off
you
his
guys talking
subscriptions
about
alone.
Shroud as the other guy?
Not to mention that he's a free agent now, so he is very well easily gonna just go take the contract
I
anyways
don't
with
like
Facebook
that.
now.
That's mean.
I mean, dude, it's smart.
Facebook
If you're in
gaming.
that kind of position, fucking take your money. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
mad
don't
at the
understand
people
why
for getting over
people
the system. I'm
hate
just mad
on
at the thing.
internet
I catch the
creators
wave, I
because they
guess.
like money. I like money.
Well, you know what? You
Dude,
can
I was about
respect
to
the
say-
fact that he didn't take $30 million to go to Facebook or 60 million.
perfect. Well, but the thing is that he more than likely will anyways. He'll
Yeah.
take that. What he did
already
was
denied
smart.
it.
He denied it, but then it doesn't stop him from going and declaring a contract with them. It just means that in this
yeah.
transition, when they're going from Mixer to Facebook Gaming, they wanted to buy his contract out, and he said, "No, I'm making Mixer buy me out." And then Mixer buys him out. He's free agent. Now he's free to go discuss with Facebook on their own terms now and be like, "Okay, yeah, how about that contract?"
So with him,
And then
like,
also 20 million.
I don't know, like there's
Yeah,
always
and then he
there's also
makes more
that thing
money.
like, do you really think you'd want to go somewhere with the Facebook plastered on it and risk
How
not
does
having your
Ninja
audience?
Yes.
Like he's
so much
filthy
money,
rich.
but
You,
he's so
it's
sad.
one of
No-
the most,
no,
There's so
like,
much
quick
ad
transfer
money, it is
platforms we have.
unfucking believable.
No, he's
Yeah.
gonna make bank.
Facebook
I'm
is
not
where
even.
all the ad money is right now.
There's no question about it. He's gonna make bank, but like, You know,
I would
Then what's
definitely
can they
wanna
buy
be
him
there.
out?
Dude, he's already,
You're gonna play
this is
video
the,
games
you
and
guys
you wanna
realize
do
this
it
is
for
the guy
less
who's
money.
associated with fucking Fortnite, right? I don't think he cares whether or not
Yeah.
what he's associated with has like bad brand rep.
Sure.
He's
He
the
also,
guy that tried to
not
get
to
a
mention
crowd of
the most recent
40-year-olds
thing
to
we just
fucking
talked about,
floss.
fucking Mixer. He
What?
left Twitch, the biggest platform for Mixer, which was a Microsoft platform that failed. Like he didn't care. It's
Okay,
because it's money.
Can we touch on why
Yeah.
Microsoft kills everything?
I mean,
Like
yeah,
Skype.
maybe like
Remember
Skype, for
Skype?
example, but I don't know. It's all right.
Like,
It's
why do you
just
think
an
Microsoft
out
kills
of touch
everything?
old
Like,
company.
or how do
Yeah.
they kill it? Because I agree that they do, but how do you think it is that they go about doing it? Like, what's their like beautiful scheme that they have going on in the background that kills everything they touch?
Yeah,
You know
it's
what?
I
still
think
a
it's just
somehow
an old school
successful company.
technique.
They
I
kill
think it's
everything.
old.
Like-
Yeah,
Could you guys imagine in 20 years, Microsoft's probably gonna end up like IBM or something? They're just gonna
I think so.
Yeah, well, very much so. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's,
once-
you
once-
look at all these other companies that are just coming out and blowing them the fuck out of the water. The only reason that Microsoft is even a thing anymore is because it's just ingrained into
Yeah.
everything.
It's because of Xbox.
Same with
mean,
Apple.
Yeah,
I just-
that's like their main cash cow anymore.
Yeah,
But
to be honest, I
I'm
own
saying
an,
like
I
no
own,
one's
like,
gonna
everything.
forget Microsoft as a
Fucking
name the
retarded.
way that they forgot IBM. Because it's just a problem until we get to the point where Windows is no longer an operating system that people frequent.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
like,
Do
Bill
you
Gates
really
is
think
gonna
people
have
will
more
like
than I
switch
think a lot
over
of
to
people are ready
Linux
for.
or something?
So well,
It
there's that.
seems-
But let's talk about the fact
This is
that
how
Apple
you
switched to
become
ARM
smart. You
silicon, right?
talk
That's
with
big
people
for the
in
entire computing
CS:GO.
world.
Yeah,
Sir.
no, you're right, you're right.
Apple ARM silicon, like Apple silicon, is the biggest like thing that's gonna happen in computing in a long time.
Wait, what
because
is this?
with that, you're gonna have what? Apple silicon.
Yeah.
It's the new extension of the ARM processors. They're gonna bake it in house, so they're gonna make their own chips a whole way through the board, the
Ooh.
chips, the circuitry, everything.
And everything's gonna be
I think the only
working
thing they
together.
don't make is the display. So what they're going to do now is because ARM is a RISC-based processor versus a CISC-based processor. So now you've got Android platforms that are running ARM RISC processing that you're going to be able to have. Apple has the same exact hardware, so it wouldn't be a far shoot to be able to put like a cool Android
Excuse
desktop
me,
port on an Apple
Supreme?
computer. You know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, like
So that's a
Apple's definitely carved out their niche in terms of like the Macs for artists who need a lot of RAM. But like, I don't know who's buying Macs besides that. Not MacBooks, but like Mac
talk about
Macs are
computers.
sturdy,
computer, the fucking
sturdy,
cheese
sturdy
grater?
computers. Just
businesses
saying.
would buy Macs.
Yeah, they
Like,
seem
just-
pretty
it's not-
like
when you
long
talk about
lasting.
being able to go to
they
a
will
corporate
never die,
platform,
dude.
Yeah, okay,
they
listen,
won't.
I smashed my MacBook over someone's head once, and it was still fine.
I was about to say those things are durable as shit, and it's not even just for the fact that they're like physically durable. They're just endurance-wise. They last forever. I've had the same laptop since I went to college in 2012 or 2013. I have the same fucking laptop now. It works just fine.
I've had my same i7 laptop too, and that I've had
Insurance
since
company
2013.
because it allowed my brother to scam the fuck out of them, and like for college, he got a free $4,000 PC, not a PC, but like a laptop. He got a free $4,000 laptop.
Jesus.
I'm not a huge fan of their software, like just the using of it, because it's not the most user-friendly thing out, or it's not the most power user-friendly thing, I would say. If you want to go and do stuff on Apple, you have to start really either using command line, like their GUI for power user stuff is not that bueno. But what's exciting, man, is that ARM shit. Like being able to put Android on an Apple is going to be transformative.
Oh, absolutely.
And then maybe that's what's going to happen is you're going to have more Linux users be able to add just a larger base. And if you guys haven't loaded a Linux distro onto anything in a while, and you're just even halfway curious,
Yo, I didn't realize what
recommend
time it
doing
is. I
that
gotta go.
because
Goodbye.
Alright, goodbye.
because like that shit is super simple, quick install. Like, and the whole
Yeah.
thing's got a fucking Office suite, a web browser, anything you can
Yeah,
use your computer
Linux is
for.
no longer the
Oh.
fucking smelly 400-pound dude that doesn't showers
Yo,
distro. It's like
so-
a proper fucking thing now.
You can
So
play
last
CS:GO
year,
on Linux.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's,
you guys
well,
heard.
dude, they have great GUIs now. It's not like it's a big fucking written
Yeah.
system anymore. You can actually go in and have like a reasonable Windows-style software.
So Windows last year,
You guys use?
they updated Windows 10. They added the Windows subsystem for Linux, and like you can
Yep.
natively
I'm
run
terrified.
Linux. you can natively run
It's
a
not the
Linux
same.
distro under Windows, and not like dual booted or anything, but like it's great.
Right, it's not quite the same, and like
It's
even
different.
WSL1 and WSL2, like they're different than like, Linux. Is not having issues right now trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, because like I can get on my Linux laptop, SSH into my server, and start running like my Nginx stuff to be able to just run my stack website. But the second I try and SSH, even if I have I'm having a key generation issue with my SSH keys for whatever reason. It's not doing a handshake properly, and it's only happening on a WSL. So, it's just not the same.
Like something that was really cool, like for thinking about that, was just running like a very base version of a Linux distro for like file management. But like, how would you know, they're two different file structures, so that's also complicated, and like having to reformat that.
So there's two variants of WSL. I would recommend you could read WSL1 versus WSL2. They have it on the Support Microsoft website, and it describes how, because it's the differences in them are how the version 1 and 2 handles the filing system. One is a virtual machine, which is number 2, and number 1 is actually just kind of embedded in your file system. So like if you want Linux file management on your Windows computer, you'd run WSL1. If you want to run a very light virtualized machine on your computer, which is what WSL2 is, that's great, because then you can Linux is way better at running, or way easier to do partitions on hard drives, way easier to format SD cards. It's much more convenient for all those things. So it's very nice to have on a Windows PC to not have to dual boot, but still not quite the thing.
So
Alright, I'm actually gonna bounce too. It's late as fuck.
Night,
I'll
man.
catch you guys some
how
around.
much how many resources would you be using comparing to like a virtual machine if you're running like a really base form of a operating, maybe not even like a GUI or anything, just like if you're trying to do file management, just the basic
It's nothing. It's like we're talking a couple megabytes of RAM and
WSL?
not even noticeable bump in what? Yeah. So like,
and then how would that compare to like a virtual machine?
Like if a virtual machine, you're gonna have the Windows bloat having to run like virtual or the VMware or whatever it is. So you have the program itself is gonna run its own RAM just in the background. Then you're gonna have all the unnecessary Windows like the Windows I don't know how to describe program bloat, right? If you've ever seen a program on Windows, like for instance the RGB controller from fucking Corsair, it's like 400 megabytes. There's no reason for that. There's no reason to have that big. I've seen
I guess it'd be
RGB
pretty like
controllers on
streamlined.
Linux.
There's not gonna be
I've seen RGB controllers on Linux that they're native, like that you can download from like a Git, and when you pull that down, it's like 13 megabytes. So the WSL system is really light. I like playing around with it, but I don't want to use it as like a main board Linux computer or like a replacement for dual booting,
And I don't understand like how is WSL running? Like what do they mean like when it's running natively?
It's literally number 1. I don't know how number 1 works at all, but number 2 is literally it's a virtual machine that they just kind of natively built into work as this whole thing. Like when you load your distro, like when you load WSL2 on your computer and activate it, and then go and download a distro for it, be it Kali right now. Kali Linux and Ubuntu have nice distros that are just they're just terminal only. I think I have to put Xming on my Windows PC to be able to SSH through Xming or putty through Xming into my WSL to get a GUI out of it, but I don't know.
Should I be taking notes on this lecture?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to make
I
a
feel like
lecture
I'm
out of
back
guys.
on my fucking
Yo, Scrambled,
CCNA
this
course.
isn't very palatable for my my new audience now, man.
Bro, like I'm like,
My
bro,
bad,
I
man.
just barely got into this computer shit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either, so I'm
You know,
probably lying to you anyway.
So
man.
I want to give you a good lesson here. What you do is when Scrambled starts talking, you just you nod your head virtually and you pretend like you know what he's talking about, and that's how you engage.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I
I
don't
literally got
100%.
my first PC about 6 months ago. I built it, and like I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know some very basic shit, and I'm known as like the computer guy around the fucking shit. I don't know shit about computers. So you're just mind-boggling me over here.
Honestly, if you want to read a good book, the CCNA certification book by Tom Lowell, I think is his name. It's the resource I'm using right now, and I've learned an immense amount of stuff from it. So.
Yeah, I took a CCNA course for like 2 semesters, and I was like, yeah, I hate this.
I really enjoy it. I didn't discover that until like had to sit around while doing the coronavirus vacation thing.
Oh no.
I just like to say I feel like the most 2 a.m. on CS:GO Surf now.
Yeah.
Information now.
I don't know, man. It's crazy, but like Utopia is like the
paid
it's
tomorrow. That's
the
cool.
crossroads, man. It's the crossroads of everybody. You know, you can find anything over here.
You guys have played WoW at all?
Nah, I never got into
I
it.
play it.
Okay.
Because my girlfriend plays it, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Baron's chat at 3 in the morning, super intellectual. It's like the same thing as like surf server chat like 3 in the morning. So if you ever want to like have intellectual chat conversations with people, it's Baron's or
Dude,
surf, I guess.
the My Little Pony Reddit at 3 a.m. is popping right now, dude. I don't know.
Nice.
Going into fucking quantum
Quick question:
physics and
how
shit.
does anyone get that fucked in the head
What, for My Little Pony subreddits?
to use Reddit and be obsessed with?
I
My
think
Little Pony?
I think mommy and daddy just didn't tuck you in enough at night or something. No offense to the bronies out there, but
Bro, I never got tucked in at night. My bed's upstairs, and they're like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm too lazy to walk upstairs."
Brony's like one step away from being a pedophile, essentially. Like,
No,
Yeah,
bronies
I
are
think
one
it's like
step away from
being a
killing
furry.
me.
I mean, like, just aren't the My Little Pony characters supposed to be super underage? Like, you know, like they're supposed to be,
They're
you know,
supposed
as
to be
a young child.
horses.
Well, I mean, the age of the character, the mentality of it, right? Because it's an obviously
Yeah,
fictional
that's
show.
fucking
well,
but
it's a
still
kids
about-
show, yeah,
like,
exactly.
Right, but so it's got, like the character itself has an ability to have a narrative, right? So like, therefore it has like an intellectual
Sure.
ability, right? So like that's what I'm saying. Like when you talk about anime, we talk about lollies. Well, just because a 40-year-old or 4,000-year-old character, it's not,
Yeah,
they're
dude.
not fucking like they look like a goddamn fucking child. So guess what? Like
Yeah.
you're looking at a goddamn child, you know? Like,
I
same
guess
idea,
it's the
right?
same thing, except they don't look like they look like a horse, but yeah,
Right,
they have that
right, and
childish, you know, thing, because it's a
and
kids
that's what
show
I'm
at the end of
getting
the
at,
day. So yeah,
right,
it is
so, like,
kind of
you know,
it's kind of weird.
They rag on anime kids because they're looking at the fucking the little lolly bitches when they're 4,000 years old in the mental state of the character, which is still disgusting. But at least it's a little bit better, I guess, than trying to get with an 8-year-old mental state. I don't know how to
come on,
describe
bro. I'm
that.
just trying to get the big goth milk mommy GFs.
Hell yeah, brother.
I don't know what you just said, but yeah, man.
Yeah. I'll translate.
Bro,
He
you
said
gotta get a girl
a
with
big
blunt
milk
bangs and
mommy
large tits, bro.
GFs.
Blunt bangs and large tits.
What?
Yeah, bro.
What's
Blunt
a
bangs
blunt
and large
bang?
tits.
Damn, dude. I don't know.
Is there no admin in the server anymore?
Don't ask that.
Well, that's good, man. We can have our banter undisturbed.
Bothered.
Uninterrupted.
That's the word. I can't think anymore, dude. It's too late.
Yeah, no, I got work tomorrow. I just cannot go to sleep at
Dude.
this point in time.
Quit
Every
bragging,
time I
dude.
say this, people are like, "You're so
Why am I?
fucking right."
How
I
am
wish I
bragging?
could have
My
a
work
job
sucks. I
and
get paid like minimum
occupy
wage.
myself. I'm
Oh,
so
sorry.
bored sitting at home because you know, just sitting on CS:GO all day is fun for like a month, and then you're suffering.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, I
I
understand.
played this game for fucking 8 years, and
I know.
I don't think I could play it all day for a month. Literally, I only have to play. I have to play in intervals, like, or else I just
Yeah,
get
you'll
too
burn
heated,
out.
you know? No, I just get too hot. Like, I physically get too hot.
Damn.
Like this
Bro, you pretty
game,
Is it heating up your PC that much where it's just
it heats
providing?
me up.
Damn, dude.
It burns a fire in my loins.
Oh, let's see.
I think that's the girl you had last night, bro.
I don't know, man.
That
Maybe,
could be
maybe he ate just
Chipotle.
like a really, really good sandwich, you know?
Good sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like, dude, I don't know. Once I ate a sandwich and like, I don't know how I felt afterwards, man. I just could not. My
I
loins,
was
dude.
going more like it's the girl you were with last night, you know? Cause,
No.
crabs
You
are-
clearly, if you're still talking about
You
petty
don't
mortals,
understand
you
the
haven't tried a
fucking
really good sandwich, man.
Importance of sandwiches.
I don't understand. I guess I'm too high for the conversation.
Bro, I got fucking laid off from a job from Corona. And then a week
Apply for
later,
the PUA, homie.
a week fucking later, dude, I broke my ankle. Like my shit was dangling off.
Damn, bro.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh,
How did it
was it a
happen?
cool story at least?
I was BMXing, but like the good
That's cool.
part about it is I got unemployment like from the get go,
Nice.
so I was paying all the front bill.
Whose
That's fucking
property did you
bullshit.
break your
Okay,
ankle
so I
on?
have a friend who was working at McDonald's, right? He's collecting unemployment and he gets $600 a week.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I get
Yeah.
$600 a week. I was getting paid half that working full time overtime.
I'm still getting the full 600.
Bro, I get like $245 every 2 weeks.
Yeah. That sucks, man. I'm on that government teat, you know. Get that government cheese, brother.
I'm looking into the very end, and I hope they extend to December, bro.
Yeah. I went on Craigslist at one point just to find like something to do like in terms of jobs. I found a job as like really easy farmhand labor. I literally was gonna hop on that because of how bored I am, but the parents, man, they're like, nope, you're gonna catch coronavirus and you're gonna kill us all with it. So you know.
I have never seen parents say don't get a job. What the fuck?
Listen, like I can kind of understand where they're coming from because like if I get sick it'll suck, but if I get sick and I get them sick they'll probably die, dude. They're old, you know.
They're like, he's like, Mom and Dad, I want to go work at a wet market.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, let me go work with all these animals,
There's
please.
this cool restaurant. They're serving bat soup at it now. I was
Oh,
hoping you could go
shit.
give it a shot.
Epic.
Yeah, come on, Mom and Dad.
Dude,
It's
I would
all about,
unironically try
$20.
bat soup. I love trying foods. Like I would I would eat bat soup. No,
I
no
feel like
worries.
cook,
So
I
I
don't
was
think
a
there's a
picky
problem. I
eater
think
up
the
until
issue is
recently,
like
and
raw
I've been
and shit,
trying to
right?
branch out of
I've
my
always
eating.
loved like crazy food, dude. I think one of the best weird foods that I had. I was over in Italy during the summer, and I had deep fried pig brain, and I was
That
younger,
shit
right? And I ordered it,
slaps.
and the waitress, she was like speaking broken English, and she didn't believe it when I wanted to order it, and she was serving it. But it was so good, cause you know the outside is fried, right? It just tastes like fried stuff.
Yeah,
But the
it's
inside is
it's kinda
so like
mushy.
brain is so delicate and soft.
Yeah.
It's
It's
amazing.
so good.
I think I'm gonna start playing CS:GO Surf at 3 a.m. more often.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, same.
Where else are you gonna hear about brains and eating them?
This is
I
my
don't know,
first
I
time
just don't
on
know,
server.
it's just like it's really good vibes with y'all guys. Like it's really chill.
Yeah.
Not
It's
like CS:GO
unique,
during
man.
the
You
day.
you don't find it in many other games, right?
I'm usually playing like some solo game at this hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm usually sleeping.
Bro,
I
solo
think by
game
now.
that fucking like late night. I hate that shit. I have to go like watch TV or something.
Dude, it sucks because I want to be up with you guys and talking about this stuff, but like realistically, it's just terrible for me to stay up this late because I end up waking up at like 1 in the afternoon. I just hate myself.
Only 1 in the afternoon?
Sometimes
Jesus.
2. You know, it
Fucking
sucks.
lightweight.
All right, there, Buster. Calm down.
You
Don't
gotta
get your
sleep
don't get
tomorrow night.
don't get your jimmies in a rustle.
All the eagles
Are
are
you looking for an
gone.
eagle?
Sorry, no dude's allowed.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen.
do a
If
quick
you
vibe
guys are
check.
looking for e-girls, I can sell you some RuneScape girlfriends for like 20 GP.
For like 20K.
Oh, word, that's it? 20 GP and I can get a RuneScape girlfriend?
Yes, sir. They don't have teeth though, so like you know, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know how you'll take it.
Good old Gummer.
Yes, sir.
What was that? The RuneScape monkey nut market is
Oh, yeah.
The fuck did I just join into?
What do you
Welcome.
mean,
You walked into a late night Utopia server, man.
Oh, is this what it's like?
All right, guys, let's talk monkey nuts economics here. So I've seen what the hell's going on.
about the monkey nut economy.
All right, guys, listen up. So the recent monkey nut index has kind of been a little trading sideways. So what I'm thinking is we buy some calls real quick for about 20 days, strike price at about 3 monkey nuts, and we see what happens. If it doesn't work, we can always hedge it a little bit. But yeah, man.
It's a whole lot. It's a
Yo,
whole
I just
last
beat them out for
operation.
the first time.
And dude, once we get out and we're mad rich with monkey nuts, we can just buy fat monkey bitches.
Can
and,
I
go on a
eat
yacht.
some of them?
No, you don't eat your own money. That's just weird.
Oh, I
You
thought.
can, however, eat the monkey nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
who the hell eats their own money? It's like burning dollar bills for fuel. You don't do it.
Unless you're Trump.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
but,
Trump-
like,
I mean, you're helping with inflation.
That's true.
If
You're
you do
deflating
that.
the market. That's
But
very
it's
true.
also illegal technically.
No, not if
No,
you
it's
don't
not.
get caught.
No. If you're destroying currency, it's actually not illegal unless you profit from it in any way. Like you can do whatever you want to like a coin as long as you don't like sell it the
Yeah,
copper
so you could
for
shove
money.
it up your ass just for like pleasure.
Actual thing.
Yeah. So
Oh, dude, I
as
was
long as you
gonna
don't
make a
profit
ring out
from
of my
it,
50-cent coin.
you can do whatever you want.
I love that guy.
I remember
I
made
believe.
a quarter ring back.
Don't
in
take my
93,
legal
was
advice,
terrified of
guys.
telling
I don't want you guys going to prison for 50 years because you destroyed a penny.
Guys, you want to pass a vibe check real quick or no?
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Send it.
Oh yeah. All right. You know what? Instead of rapping, somebody tell a story.
All right. When I was little.
Don't rap it.
Dad left
Just
me.
tell it. Tell it how it is, man. Tell it how it is.
All right, so one time, me and my buddy Jason and Hilario came over. We were 14 years old, all right? And my buddy had just gotten a truck, and we had just gotten our permits. We didn't have our licenses yet, but he had a truck. He was like, I don't know, 1980, just a box truck. And you know, we're hanging out. My parents are away. I don't know what's happening. I think we got some booze. Yeah, we have like Jägermeister. I think some Captain Morgan in a cooler in the back of his pickup. So he comes to my house, and we leave the cooler in the back, and we're about to go drive around and go to a park. So we drive to the park, and we're riding our bikes around. We put the bikes in the back of the truck, and found some trails. And we come back, and there's a cop at the truck. And of course, we're shitting ourselves because one, I don't even think the truck's insured, and two, we don't have licenses, we have permits, and we have alcohol in the vehicle, and we're 14. So my buddy, he has the biggest balls. He just goes up and he says, "Hey, you're not towing my truck, that's mine." And the cop goes, "Well, how old are you?" You know, and gives us the rundown, and you know, he goes, "So what are you guys doing?" "Oh, you know, we're just riding our bikes, having a good time." And he goes, "Oh, yeah?" He goes, "Is there any alcohol in the cooler?" And we go, "No, not at all, sir. None at all." And I'm shitting myself. I'm like, okay, we're screwed. He's gonna open it up and find it. And he opens it up, and he just finds some red Solos with some Pepsi. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Is Jesus real? You know, is that what just happened? And we drive home, and because we weren't very far from where we had to go, like less than 1 minute. And I go, what just happened? And Hilario goes, "Bro, I'm gonna let you know, I put the liquor in the fridge because I knew that shit might have happened." I'm like, this little hood rat knew exactly what he was doing. He was hiding this shit just to cover our asses.
I like how he had a Mexican accent too.
Oh yeah, Hilario.
Bro, I was pulled over because I was in an accident Friday. I was pulled over with like.
You good?
I was pulled over with dab cart, which is technically processed drugs, so I could have gotten a shitload of time.
Yeah,
Wait, what were you pulled over with?
Playing CS:GO.
carts are so convenient.
What did I come back to?
I found this cart kind. Like, if you find a live resin cart, it's like smoking dabs. It's so fucking good.
You ever shove Sharpies up your nose when you were little?
Nah, man, I wasn't.
I
I
still
was
do that.
The smell of
deficient.
Sharpies and gasoline, but like maybe that's because I'm a retard.
What I used to do was
Well,
I
they
would
did
pull
blood
out the
yeah.
stuff that was inside the Sharpie that would actually write, and I'd roll it out with one of those things that you roll out Play-Doh with.
Shit, dude, I like
Just
the.
drink it?
I think I still
Yeah.
like the smell of Sharpies, man. I can't lie.
Have you, you guys remember those smellable markers?
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, is it like Mr. Sketch or some
Yeah,
shit?
My
yeah.
friend OD'd on one of those.
I'm pretty sure
smellable
kids would
markers.
straight up get high
I
over
swear,
these.
I could've, I might have OD'd on the fucking orange one. What if this is all a dream? This is all just a fucking dream.
dude.
Dude, okay.
Just my
Listen.
flashbacks.
You're gonna wake up to this.
All right, we
Welcome
need
to
to
Underworld.
find the people in the world who
Wait,
like the brown ones and
I
just
can't
kill them
remember
all.
who it was.
Oh,
but
that's fucking no. It's the black ones. The black ones
What
are
were the
shit.
black
a
ones? Were they
government
licorice or
organization
something or what?
released like some papers saying that like everything that your mind thinks is just a hologram or some dumb shit like that. Like
Yo,
they
wake
actually
up.
released that.
Wake
It's
up.
real.
Yeah, it's,
Wake
No,
up.
holograms
I'm
are cool and all,
talking.
but I think we just invented the best new insult. Just tell somebody they like the
Wasn't
brown
that Descartes?
smellable
You're
markers.
talking about Descartes, and he was his. I think, therefore I am. He was like, oh, this could all just be a fucking simulation. I could just be in a brain in a
Like,
jar.
for real, like,
No,
some
like,
sort
the
of
way
government
that's called-
organization just leaked this. Like,
What
brains
if
are
it's
like
fucking
schizophrenia.
bombs, bro?
Heart is onto something.
Can
My
we have one
understanding, you can look at current neurosciences and they describe that your brain is perceiving a hallucination because our eyes cannot receive instantaneous speed of light information and process it.
This
so
is
you
too
kinda
much
have to,
science for me.
You have to preceptively like understand like what's gonna happen. So you have to like predict what's gonna happen. So your brain predicts what's gonna happen more than it actually sees what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
I don't think so. Because why? Like, if I touch something, it's
think
it's
about
gonna
it,
be
our brains are
perceived.
a
It's
quantum
gonna be.
computer, bro.
Like okay,
I know what
things
you mean,
happen. The speed of causality is what c and e equals mc squared is, not the speed of light. It's like
What
the
the
speed
fuck
of
are you
causality.
on
What
about?
the
Shut up.
fuck?
That's
He's bringing.
bullshit.
Hey, let him break it down. It's
Bullshit.
physics. It's easy.
Okay,
let's
I'm
have a
gonna
little
keep this
lesson.
under 30 seconds. Just give me a second, all right? So you keep speed of causality is what the speed of capacitance is, speed of light, yada yada. That happens at instantaneous reaction times to us. We can't perceive past that. So
Sure.
our brain has to segment things, time into segments that it can perceive and use in iterations, and it cannot receive information that quickly. It processes it and sends it out. So it predicts things, what's going to happen based
Okay,
on what's
so
going on
if
around it.
I go and touch a basketball, my eyes are seeing me touch it and I'm feeling it. So there is that light speed interaction with my eyes, and I may not be able to process it at light speed, but
Causality.
think about it.
The touch is causality.
Yeah, I don't
Something
think you
Your-
can even,
your
like,
nerves- your
technically
nerves-
touch something completely.
That's a whole other topic.
Scrambled.
Okay, wait,
Your
let
nerves.
me
Okay,
fuck
there are
with you guys real
nerves in
quick.
both your eyes and
Let me-
your
One person at a time.
fingertips. That's gonna be those are driven by electrical impulses, and that's very fast still, very fast.
Right.
What electricity is like?
Yeah, it's near the speed of light. Yes.
Not near, but like it's faster than you
What?
practically.
Right.
The transfer of electrons. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the
electricity in
fastest
terms of
transfer
its.
electrons you can get is in glass fiber optic cabling. It's 40% the speed of light. In our bodies, it's only about 15 to 18% the speed of light.
But
'cause it's
still
liquid mass.
extremely fast for practical
Very
terms,
much
like
so,
faster
yes,
than we can
very much
comprehend.
so.
Like I can't tell the
Um,
difference between the speed of light and the speed of electricity visually.
Wait,
So
wait,
that's what I'm
wait,
saying,
So
like,
wait,
That
the
disparity.
only thing,
So the speed of light, since it's not constant, is not what we're talking about. I was trying to say that, right? This is c when we think about E equals mc squared, and we're talking about it in the sense of any kind of reasonable terms. It's causality, right?
Okay.
And that's if you don't understand that, I don't want to get into because that's a whole other conversation. That again, and all I'm doing right now is I'm regurgitating information to you that I've seen and read elsewhere. I have no real understanding of it. I've just seen and read that neuroscientists kind of claim that we hallucinate what's going on around us because our brain cannot process and transmit information back to all of the faculties you would need to have it without having to have some kind of prediction to it.
So
that's-
would it? Why wouldn't it just process that at a delay, right? And that's what I'm saying. That delay is so extremely
because-
small that, you know,
Because that delay would cost you your life in certain situations.
Yeah.
That delay,
it would cause what?
That delay would literally have cost single-cell organisms before they even made the rat that was the 94 million year ago grandparent of all of us, all right? Like, before any of those things would have been able to happen and progress, nature would have killed itself, like, or life would have killed itself in nature.
And I understand where you're coming from too. Like I get what you're saying because we also fill in like a lot of the information. That's why we're able to like when
Yeah.
there's missing letters out of words and stuff, we just fill it in. It's
We
our
don't
brain
read
is
full. You don't read
recognizing
full
patterns.
text.
Correct.
You know that, right? Like words, you don't
Right.
read the whole word.
You only read the beginning and the end, don't you?
Not even the end, dude.
Dyslexic people do that, bruh.
You can
dyslexic.
can read the first parts of words and your brain will fill it in.
Okay, let me fuck with you guys real. Okay, so your tongue is like. I
Yeah,
don't
we've
know, I
heard
read
it.
this. Like.
La
you could-
lengua.
No. Like you could imagine you're licking something you've never licked before. You could feel how it's gonna feel on your tongue.
That's sensory input.
Yeah, just
You
like
guys know what's
pretend
really
you're
weird?
licking a leg of a chair or some shit.
Have you ever like say you find a pine what are those pine needles or something, or
A
like
pine
anything that has a smell to it? Have you ever
Yeah.
tasted it and it tastes like how it smells?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like
some
shit like
weird
poop?
synesthesia like you
You can
cannot put
taste
into
through
words.
your
It's not
smell.
synesthesia. It's based on the way that's of the olfactory senses of your brain and your nose and your tongue are basically the same thing. Like they're picking up the same molecule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not. Well, that is
Right,
synesthesia
right.
almost.
Yeah, you can pretty much
Synesthesia
smell and
is
taste.
the replacement of a sensation through the sensation of another. Auditory synesthesia would be like when you get the frisson, right? The
Yeah.
goosebumps from like a sound. That's auditory synesthesia.
Like ASMR.
Yeah.
Like anal.
Well, that's not combining senses, is it? Well, I mean, feeling, I guess.
Well, no,
I'm a physical learner.
That's the synesthesia, right?
Like I have to see
Synesthesia is
the
combining
ASMR
senses
happening.
together, right? So
Yeah, it's a combination of senses, right?
What are you
It's
combining when
one,
you're
one
listening
sense
to-
stimulates another sense, yeah.
I don't know. So I guess in like technically sure, like you're combining. Well, it's just perceiving it. So it's just perceiving it the same way. So that's not necessarily synesthesia. Is that what you're saying?
For what?
For like tasting the smelling thing.
So no, that's not because what's going on is like you just have two different ways of
Yeah, and they're just
describing
perceiving it
and
the same way. So it's not synesthesia, right?
It's no, it shouldn't be no because it's like your nose and your tongue are doing the
Yeah,
same thing.
exactly. All right, I know what you mean. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird, man. Like you can. I don't know.
You ever been so thirsty you can smell water?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, that's when your nose is really working.
No shit. I wish you mate, do like the monk thing and
Cold
shit,
water
like
tastes
4
better,
days.
boys.
No, room temp. What the fuck are
I'd
you
just
talking
like to remind you guys we're playing CS:GO Surf.
Yeah, we are.
about? Yeah, man.
And that's exactly where this kind of stuff happens.
I'll learn more off this shit
Yeah,
than
I
school.
just want to know how stupid monkey play CS:GO Surf reach this shit.
Dude, could you
Can
you
someone
imagine?
teach me about the quadratic
We're
formula?
the reason we evolved, bruh.
Can you imagine like there's some dude like 1,000 years ago in ancient Rome, like in a pile of sand drawing out equations, and you tell him
someone explain
that
me
in
the
1,000 years there's
Bose-Einstein
gonna be
concept?
retards on CS:GO who are talking shit that's way beyond him, and he'll never be able to understand.
Kind of always wondered that.
Yeah. Do you want like the nickel explanation or like the long one?
What of what?
The Bose-Einstein condensate.
The long
Give us
one.
one for idiots.
The long one you're gonna have to go read yourself. The short one I will give, and it is real simple.
Okay.
You isolate an area inside of a vacuum chamber, and then because light can pass through the glass walls of the vacuum chamber, you go ahead and further isolate that area by inducting a lot of electromagnetic force through the laser beams. That will kind of like in a sense isolate the gravity in the area because you have so much energy in the laser beam. Well, when you do that, you drop the temperature in all that area, and you do that, you would then put in that vacuum, in that laser beam area, you try and put a couple helium atoms in there. What happens is those helium atoms will start resonating together.
You trying to do fusion?
No, what?
Are you trying to do fission or fusion?
No, we're not doing anything like that. We're talking about making a Bose-Einstein condensate. So what happens is when you drop the temperature down to like the almost the absolute zero, like 0 degrees Kelvin, and you have it isolated within its own like little like laser field, so you're kind of like isolating it from gravity in a sense. It's not actually the way it works, but that's kind of the rough way we're going to describe it. And you have it in a vacuum, so it's isolated from other atmosphere or other environments as well. Then the helium atoms that will be existing inside that little laser cavity will start to resonate together and act as one molecule at a point in time. That is the condensate. Now,
Thank you for the
it's useful for?
explanation.
So
That's what
like
it's useful for,
in
gravitational
particle
wave detection.
physics, what's like the model for like gravity? Like how do they perceive it?
We don't have one.
They don't have
I
one.
love how this man is just our teacher.
Yo,
at this
Mr.
point in time.
Science Man, Mr. Science Man, if I put my hand against the wall enough times, can it fuse through the wall?
Quintessence possible, but not proven.
I'm
Listen,
gonna
dude.
start poking my wall.
Thank you, Mr. Can we call him Mr. Science Man from
If
now
I
on?
slapped
Yeah,
my
yeah,
dick
yeah.
on the wall enough, could I have a child?
Hey, Bill Nye.
Eventually?
What's up?
Maybe not. What's up?
Maybe that, but that's a chance you're saying. There's a chance you're saying.
Yeah, man.
Hold up.
Hold up.
We were
Yo.
We
just
had
chilling,
this
bro.
enlightening conversation, and then this man comes in.
Dude, that's me when
But,
I'm
like,
slapping my dick on the
what
wall.
would the world be like if Shoddy wasn't a melody?
In my head.
Dude.
Yeah.
Sing a non.
The world
you
is
Gone.
probably get
Gone.
real
Non-existent.
angsty.
This
It'd
is
be
the
a lot less
only. This is
angsty
the only
because-
version of reality, guys. If Shoddy wasn't a melody, there would be nothing. Everything would be
No,
gone.
It
there's,
would be
we're in a
epic.
parallel universe, my guy.
There's no such thing. The only reality is where Shoddy's a
Shoddy's
melody.
not a melody in mine.
Boom, 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 boom.
So what do you
World
guys
starts
think
blowing
about the poop fart releasing pictures of UFOs? What do you guys think about that?
Oh, dude,
Wait,
that's
what
weird.
the fuck? The poo fart?
No, like it was like the Pentagon or something released pictures of
right.
UFOs.
Yeah, yeah.
They just said they don't know what it is.
They're like, bruh.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I don't know what this line
Like how no one was freaking about it anyway.
Yeah,
there's a
I
lot
think
of
people
other
are
shit
so
going on right
like,
now.
I don't know.
confirming that there's a
Because
parallel
like you learn this
universe
from the
with
military.
thousands
Where do you
of
even take
records
it? Like there's gonna be so many sides to it. Some people seriously consider it. Other people think it's a hoax from the military. Other people, you know, think.
Okay, but here's the thing. What's the reason of them releasing it?
I don't know, dude. Maybe you should
They're
ask them.
probably trying to get
a
us used to
warning.
the idea of aliens, or at least the.
There's also the
population.
possibility you can always make a request to declassify files, and if a court approves it, they can sometimes do it. That might have been why.
They also do it periodically, like after certain things reach a certain age, they
I-
just release that. to
the
file
thing,
as well.
I think people weren't so surprised is because we were really expecting it.
Well, so question for y'all, because this I guess is going to devolve into aliens. Do you know how long it takes for us to send a light speed transmission to Jupiter, so we can talk to Juno, the satellite we have around it right now?
Isn't it like
I
18
read that
hours?
somewhere.
18 hours round trip. It's 9 hours one way at the speed of light.
Wait,
So
isn't it?
Damn.
Just to give you a sense of scale, that's our what, fifth planet in the solar system, right? That's we're number 3. That's number 5, and there's what is it? 8 others to talk about, or 6 others to talk about realistically, and that's just our solar system, which is hundreds of millions of light years away from our closest other neighbors and shit. So that's if we're talking about being able to go and find a UFO or a UFO coming to our planet, the sufficient technology to get there. Well, if it were possible, it's like 0.000000001, right? Like there's a possibility, but if they were to come, their technology would be so sufficiently far advanced from ours that we would be enslaved immediately. It doesn't matter like what kind of intelligence we have; they would be so much more intelligent. They'd look at us like ants. Like we'd be nothing to them, and we'd be like little fucking
you're
mineral
also-
It's
forests.
basically us to animals.
What you're doing right
Yes.
now is you're assuming that because we are human, though. Yeah,
You're
we do
assuming
that.
benevolence of a non-species.
Here's
Yeah,
the
dude.
thing.
Wait till
We don't
wait till I
even
start
evolve
stepping on some
far
little
enough to where they
single-celled
wouldn't enslave
microorganisms,
people
and I
that
prove
instead
how
would
dominant
try
I
to
am.
inform.
What if we are the aliens?
Bro, that's crazy, bro. That's so lit, man.
I feel like What one if of they our live in the mantle species will of the become Earth
I
extinct
think
before a
economy-
transmission is received?
I think economy is a defunct factor of any kind of society being developed, and if you have economy developed anywhere, you're going to see businessmen be businessmen kind of anywhere. Is my theory.
Yeah, that's pretty
So,
fucked.
as a result, whenever you have the spacefaring businessmen go out to space and colonizing planets and shit, they're not going to be operating like philanthropists.
I don't know, man. I think the space mining industry will be a very, very, very expensive industry.
Oh, man.
It won't be philanthropic by any
Space mining
means.
is gonna be very
Well,
profitable.
we don't know how feasible it's gonna be yet.
Oh, I didn't say anything about profit. I said philanthropic, meaning like caring and giving and wanting to do good for you.
Cost a lot to do.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy how like I don't know how old y'all are, but like our generation is gonna be controlling the world, and one day like everything, there's gonna be one right person who enters the seat of power, and like everything will be like decently good.
Nah, that's not gonna happen. Fuck that.
Nope.
All right, guys.
Never.
I just want to say I think this is gonna be the start of something great. I'm gonna stop recording this. I'm gonna put
I'm
it up.
recording too, bro. Do you mind if I post?
Yeah, dude. Let's put it up.
Bro, okay, here, yo, send in the chat your thing. I wanna.
No, I'm not gonna plug. Maybe you guys will find it one day if it blows up.
Fuck. Okay, fine.
This is gonna be cool, man. I don't know if I should edit
I
it,
can't wait
but I
to
think
be,
it's just gonna be 2 hours of raw footage.
I'm
My shitty surf skills.
Same, bro. I haven't gone past like the first part.
You should just start streaming it on Twitch.
Yeah.
Just stream it on Twitch and then upload the Twitch VOD to YouTube like everybody else does.
Oh, maybe I could do that. Like Twitch for me is just, I don't know. Like even though I wouldn't have an audience in the beginning, it just feels weird.
That want to subscribe. What are you talking about? Like $5 a person per
Bro,
That's
you know
what's
how
the swap.
crazy every time I get these contents, I'm like, yo, one more round. Let's hope. Hopefully we find good people, and then here we are.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so close to becoming like an affiliate with Twitch, and I can actually start doing shit.
That's sick, bro.
Nice.
A lot of my friends are getting
Alright,
into
guys, this video was
Twitch.
sponsored by Squarespace. If you hate yourself,
League of
This
Legends.
video was sponsored by NordVPN.
Raid Shadow Legends,
Raid
Casper
Shadow
Mattresses, get a better sleep today. Hey, what's up, guys?
Information about the
Wix
Bose-Einstein
sponsored today's
condensate
video.
being
I'm
stolen
super
from you by the
proud, and
government.
Wait, I say we just make Monkey Nut the sponsor.
dude,
This
Hell
video was
yeah.
sponsored by the economic
Raycon.
inflation of monkey nuts.
Blue Apron.
This video was sponsored by Adolf Hitler.
All right,
This video
guys.
is sponsored
Time
by
for our
you.
AS.
See
time
ya.
for